Hello, my name's Ariane, and I'm going to be talking about sound, specifically how the trailer for The Double uses sound to create an unsettling and paranoid vibe to draw in viewers. The first bit of sound that we get is used in a clarifying way. We're almost immediately told the name of our main character, which is Simon. While the trailer's establishing this, it also introduces its favorite sonic dimension for creating that unrestful, uncertain feeling. Rhythm. There's almost always some sort of beat, whether it be percussive or melodic, running throughout, half the time not even the background. This is not a subtle use of this beat. Toward the beginning of the trailer, this beat, this rhythm, is provided by subway noise, which is diegetic, but quickly transitions into a non-diegetic typewriter sound at the same tempo. This sound only stops when the film's antagonist, the evil twin, is introduced. This is also one of the few places in the trailer in which we experience near silence, but even now it's just that main ticking, that typewriter noise, has stopped and is being replaced by a more subtle, atmospheric hum with a much, much quieter clock ticking. That ticking clock noise is going to fade in and out throughout the trailer. Up until this point, there's been no music in the trailer, which is appropriate, given that up until this point, we've just been establishing an outline of our main character's boring and joyless life. The introduction of the main character's doppelganger disrupts his routine and injects some color. And this change is reflected sonically in that this incessant, rhythmic backbone is picked up by high-pitched strings with a tiny bit of piano. So it is here that we are introduced to this trailer's second most favorite dynamic of sound to manipulate, which is pitch. We don't really get any bass notes until later. Right now, we're staying mostly in the mid to high ranges of these instruments. So staying mostly treble like this helps guide the viewer toward the feeling that something is different. Something different is happening. Exactly what kind of different, we're not sure, but we're about to be sure, because this trailer uses its second bit of silence to signal yet another major change. This silence is different than the silence that I talked about before, where it had kind of that hum in the background, it had the clock ticking noise. If there was any true silence in there, it was for maybe half a second. With this one, there is silence for a little bit longer. It's not long, but aside from our main female lead making a comment about how she draws weirdos, there's not any background noise happening. And I think that actually does matter, because with the first one, they're establishing a change and we're not quite sure whether or not that change is good or bad. Just, it's a change. With this one, we're transitioning into, we know what kind of change this is. So next, the strings are replaced by fast-moving piano arpeggios, and whatever wind instrument that is, it might be an oboe, maybe it's a brass instrument, I honestly can't tell. Whatever the case, it's being used to interpret what's going on screen. These choices show the viewer the main character's feelings of confusion and panic, and clarify that this is a very bad sort of different. But here we're also going to make yet another major change. We finally get some bass notes. The addition of these dark, bassy piano notes moves us out of confusion and paranoia and into the very certain knowledge that the evil doppelganger is, evil, but not just a threat to our main character in a psychological sort of way. He is an intentional, concrete threat to him in every way. The fact that there's a lot of space between the high and low notes used, as well as the fact that the high notes are mostly in that brass or oboe or whatever that is, and then the low notes are mostly in, all in the piano, signify that good twin, evil twin dynamic. Eventually, these frenzied high notes give way to a deliberate set of wind, brass, whatever stabs, which clarifies the premeditated, intentional, and now physical danger. We're not just dealing with possible, abstract, the idea of danger. It's actually like here now, we know. So I saw a YouTube comment from Scott Thomas 8607 that described this film as dark, unsettling, and gloomy, something akin to an unpleasant dream which induces extreme anxiety but never becomes quite horrific to be deemed a nightmare. And I think that although for our main character it probably did end up kind of being a nightmare, the way that sound is used in this trailer tends to go along with that. It never gives you horror movie vibes. It always gives you kind of, dark thriller vibes. So the result of all of this is a sonic landscape that mirrors what's on screen and gives prospective viewers a good look at what they can look forward to if they watch the film. A strange, twisted, dark thriller. At least that's the vibe the trailer gave me. I still haven't watched the film.